She's a fabulous, as you can see, she's a gorgeous young woman.
Ben Affleck spills everything about his mysterious history with Blake Lively, and it's turning heads across Hollywood.
Ben is an incredible director.
This is not just an old rumor or a throwaway fling. He's telling people the bond they shared went far deeper than anyone realized.
I don't want to stay. I want to go with you.
He once kept quiet because he never wanted a public frenzy. Yet he has reached a point where he's ready to tell the truth.
He wanted to do research, you know, and she was coming off her television Gossip Girl, so she was driving down at nights and back and forth.
His stories paint a picture of late-night meetings, tense phone calls, and major regrets that shook his world behind the scenes. He first ran into Blake when he was casting for The Town. She was a rising star and seemed eager to break free from her teen drama image. Ben was searching for a leading lady with a raw edge. He reviewed many actresses, but Blake stood out in every discussion. That's when everything started to get intense, on camera and off.
You tell me what you want me to do. I'll be whoever you want me to be.
People who worked on the set saw them share private jokes, pass sly smiles, and meet in corners when no one else was around. No one suspected it would explode the way it did. Ben is now confirming he was attracted to Blake's confidence. She had an energy that he found electric. He worked with her on intense scenes, sometimes rewriting dialogue to highlight her best qualities. Tension built quickly. Some claim he spent more time focusing on her scenes than on other cast members. He doesn't deny that. He admits he admired her talent and had no problem giving her extra room to shine.
See that? And he reminded me, not so helpful.
But that was just the tip of the iceberg. Jennifer Garner started hearing whispers about their closeness. She wasn't new to these concerns. She had dealt with cheating rumors before. She tried to brush it off at first, but soon found text messages and glimpses of inside jokes that didn't feel right. Ben never told her she was crazy. He simply insisted that he and Blake were just good friends and that Garner had nothing to fear. But Garner didn't buy it. She saw patterns. She remembered the drama that surrounded Ben back when he first got close to her. It seemed like history was repeating itself, and her gut told her something was wrong.
It felt real to me. They felt brother and sister. I felt like I belonged there. The other small actors felt like they belonged.
Ben was 38. Blake was in her early 20s. That age gap by itself isn't shocking in Hollywood, but Jennifer believed it was a recipe for temptation. People questioned why Ben wrote multiple love scenes between them, but he brushed off the idea that it was personal. He claimed it served the film's realism. Once The Town hit the media circuit, interviewers noticed the spark between them was more than just professional. Some fans were sure they were flirting. Then the real bomb dropped.
It was really exciting to see, somebody who's known for being an actor step into the role of a director.
Blake broke up with Penn Badgley around that same time. It wasn't a soft, friendly split either. Their relationship had been steady until that point. Garner spotted this as another flashing sign. If Blake was free, did that mean she had eyes on Ben? Everyone around the set wondered the same thing. Ben's family life was already fragile. Garner had stood by him through earlier difficulties, so she felt betrayed by these swirling rumors, but that was only the beginning.
What are you doing down here? Just loving.
Garner tried to hold their marriage together, if only for the sake of their children. She saw her husband's pattern of straying affection as a direct threat. At first, nobody outside their inner circle truly knew the extent of her anger. She stored it inside, determined to handle it privately. But tension boiled over when Ben got offered a project with Ryan Reynolds in 2014. Jennifer put her foot down and forbid him from taking it. She didn't want him anywhere near Ryan's orbit, because that meant Blake could appear at events. Garner had reached her limit. She didn't want old wounds reopened, so she drew a line in the sand. Ben didn't fight her on it, which only confirmed, at least to Jennifer, that there was more to his link with Blake than he had admitted. He apparently knew pushing back would unleash a flood of suspicion, so he quietly declined the part. Now, years later, he confesses that he was in no shape to defend any decision that might make Jennifer uneasy. He recognized he was on thin ice. He recognized the trust between them was practically gone. Ben explains that while he never intended to cause harm, he let his curiosity get out of hand. He no longer denies that lines got blurred. They shared late-night text conversations about script notes that turned personal. He enjoyed her company on set long after other people went home. He was in a vulnerable place, drifting away from his marriage. Blake was confident and restless, eager to find her next thrill. He says he never wanted to hurt Jennifer, but looking back, he admits that he handled it poorly. Behind the scenes, tension shaped every household decision. Jennifer tried to remain positive for the kids, but she couldn't forget the feeling that her husband had prioritized Blake's feelings over her own. That suspicion wouldn't die. Right around that time, more rumors sprang up about Ben's gambling, partying, and questionable outings. Jennifer confronted him about everything, The rumors with Blake, his personal habits, his overall distance from the family. He tried to apologize and promised to fix things, but their problems ran too deep. People wonder why he's opening up about it now. Friends say it's because he's done hiding from his mistakes. He wants to acknowledge that his closeness to Blake contributed to a downhill slide in his marriage. He also wants to set the record straight that it wasn't purely one-sided. He claims Blake had an uncanny ability to draw people in, particularly men who were already attached. He suggests that she thrives on that kind of challenge. He points to her reported pattern of going for men who are in relationships or marriages. The stories about her involvement with Ryan Reynolds when he was still with Scarlett Johansson, or her playful jabs at Kate Middleton, add to the same narrative. According to him, it's not just a rumor that Blake fosters these complicated entanglements. He believes she sees them as stepping stones in her quest for bigger roles or broader fame. He acknowledges that the town was a turning point in Blake's career. She had been a TV star, but the movie gave her critical recognition. Afterward, she had more power. She moved on, attaching herself to major names like Leonardo DiCaprio. Once that fizzled, she went after Ryan Reynolds and solidified her position. In Hollywood, Jennifer Garner noticed that pattern. She recognized that Blake's unstoppable drive could be lethal for anyone who let their guard down. That's why Garner refused to risk a second chance for Ben and Blake to mingle. Ben also claims that it was no coincidence that Jennifer avoided any events where Blake might appear. She refused to greet her publicly or do any photos together. Even years later, when Jennifer worked with Ryan Reynolds on set, she made sure not to invite or interact with Blake. She wanted no illusions about a possible friendly reunion. She had felt too much pain from those earlier suspicions to ever let that happen. After this storm, Ben spiraled into a darker phase, culminating in even more humiliating rumors, like the scandal involving the nanny. By that point, his marriage to Jennifer was beyond saving. They divorced in 2018. He believes the seeds of that collapse were planted back on the town set, when he failed to keep professional boundaries. He also believes that Blake fed off that tension, enjoying the attention she received from a major director and star. He claims that certain nights stand out in his memory. He would stay late after filming Wrapped, discussing lines for future scenes. Their talks got personal fast, sharing stories about their lives, bonding over humor and ambition. He thought it was innocent at first. Now, he sees how it chipped away at his marriage, creating a wedge that eventually split it wide open. Jennifer Garner, he says, was correct about what she saw. He never wanted to fully admit it, but she was right to be alarmed. Even though Blake eventually drifted away, the impact remained. Ben describes it like a stain he couldn't wash off. He tried to move forward, but reminders kept popping up in interviews, tabloid covers, and fan discussions. People teased about the on-set fling. Jennifer gave him cold looks whenever someone mentioned that time period in a conversation. It all led to deep regrets on his end. He now says he wishes he had set firmer boundaries and listened more to his wife's concerns. His confession arrives at a time when Blake is already under fire for multiple controversies. She has faced allegations of mockery toward Kate Middleton, tension with co-stars, and an ongoing dispute with Justin Baldoni over a new film. There is talk that her once sparkly public image has cracks. People see a pattern in how she navigates Hollywood, stepping on others to climb higher. Ben's story adds more weight to that line of thinking. He says the reason he's speaking out is to clear away secrets that have haunted him. He stands by Jennifer Garner, acknowledging she was the real victim of this situation. He says Jennifer did everything she could to keep their family stable, but he let his guard down. He fell for Blake's charm and left his marriage vulnerable to rumors. That choice, he says, is one of his biggest regrets. Some are calling this a real turning point for Blake's reputation. Critics wonder if more A-listers will come out to talk about similar experiences with her. They look at how Scarlett Johansson never warms up to Blake, how even Leonardo DiCaprio cut her off once their romance ended, and how Anna Kendrick reportedly avoids her. The consistent theme is friction or heartbreak for anyone who ends up in Blake's path. Ben doesn't hesitate to say that her serial temptress image has a lot of truth behind it. He sees that she loves the thrill of complicated relationships, focusing on men who are attached to someone else. Her pattern of flirting, bonding, then moving on once she gets what she wants is something he got to witness firsthand. He insists that if he hadn't been married, the story might have ended differently. He's not proud of that. He just sees it as the reality of who they both were at the time. Meanwhile, Jennifer Garner has moved on. She's thriving in new projects, building a healthy relationship with John Miller, and co-parenting with Ben. She's found ways to push forward. People see her as an example of grace under fire. She has not commented publicly on Ben's new revelations, but the tension in their past is clear. Friends say she feels vindicated that the truth is finally in the open. Some might question the timing of Ben's confession. Maybe he wants to heal old wounds, or maybe he's tired of hearing the rumors twisted. He might also be stepping up because he knows other people are speaking out about their experiences with Blake. The wave of negative headlines about her could have encouraged him to add his voice. If so, it's likely to compound the difficulties Blake is already facing. She has her defenders, of course. They claim she's been unfairly called a homewrecker just because some men found her appealing. They argue that Ben's marriage had cracks long before Blake arrived. Still, Ben stands by the claim that lines crossed. He never claims they ran away together, but he admits the relationship was emotionally intense. That alone was enough to stab at Jennifer's trust. He calls it a key factor in the breakdown of his family life. Hollywood watchers see a big message here. Blake's pattern is catching up with her. It's not just about one rumor or one fling. Person after person mentions similar details: late nights, flirty banter, disregard for existing relationships. With Ben Affleck finally opening up, the puzzle looks more complete. He's telling everyone that the spark she lit was real, and it left scars. Some fans are surprised he's so blunt, but others applaud him for telling what happened. They feel it's only fair that the public hears his side, especially since Jennifer Garner spent years watching her family unravel, while tabloids blamed it all on him. Now, it seems like there was a third party weaving her way into the mix. Yet the final blow for Blake might be the fact that this revelation doesn't help her in the slightest. She's already tangled in so many controversies, including lawsuits, brand trouble, and a reputation for being difficult. If anyone doubted the stories about her hooking up with co-stars in serious relationships, Ben's words remove that doubt. He says he doesn't mean to label her as pure evil. He just can't deny that her attention brought chaos to his life and cost him a relationship he once valued. He's also clear that his own failings played a huge role. He made choices he can't undo, but he does say that the difference is that he's facing his truth, while Blake keeps pretending she's America's sweetheart. He wants people to understand that narrative is only half the story. It's no secret that Jennifer Garner is stronger these days. She's landing roles in top-tier projects, continuing her philanthropic work, and staying cordial with Ben for the sake of their children. Meanwhile, Blake Lively is under more scrutiny than ever. Audiences are waking up to rumors, comparing notes, and asking if she's the one who keeps leaving heartbreak in her path. Ben's final word is that he hopes sharing this brings him some closure. He spent years dodging questions about the town, burying his guilt under work and distractions. Now he wants to be honest. He wants the public to know that yes, there was real tension between him and Blake. Yes, it damaged his marriage. And no, Jennifer was not just imagining it. He isn't looking for sympathy or praise. He only wants the record straight. He says, if that means more eyes turn to Blake and her pattern of hurting people, then so be it. He insists it's time she took responsibility for the havoc she leaves behind. He has nothing more to hide, and he's not afraid of stirring up a little scandal if it means telling the truth. Blake's team has not responded to these statements from Ben. They probably see them as just another wave of negativity, but fans are already talking. If she tries to present herself as squeaky clean again, more people will question her authenticity. The secrets are out, and there's no easy way to silence them. In the end, Ben Affleck's decision to speak up reveals that his mysterious relationship with Blake Lively was never just about rehearsing lines or building on-screen chemistry. It was a crossroads in his marriage, and a spark that changed his life. Her magnetism drew him in, and his own weak boundaries let it happen. Jennifer Garner saw it, recognized the risk, and fought a losing battle. Now the pieces have fallen where they may. Blake's swirling controversies keep piling up, and Ben's voice only adds to her problems. He has turned a page in his life. She, on the other hand, seems stuck facing the same old accusations. No matter how much she tries to spin things, the truth has a way of rising to the surface, and this time it's Ben Affleck who's making sure everyone hears it.